In the Caribbean, severe food insecurity has increased by 72% in the past 2 years. About 4.1 million people, or 57% of the Caribbean population, now face food insecurity. According to a recent survey conducted by the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, and the United Nations World Food Programme, WFP, the number of people estimated to be facing moderate to severe levels of food insecurity in the English-speaking Caribbean has risen by an alarming 46% in 2022, and there has been a significant increase in households that have fallen into moderate levels of food insecurity. The Caribbean region remains susceptible to an increasing frequency of natural disasters, rising international debt, out-migration, rapid urbanization, and high imports to meet basic needs. Food insecurity, which is by definition the state of not being able to reliably have access to a sufficient quantity of affordable nutritious food, is a common concern in underdeveloped countries throughout the world. Political instability, poor geographic features, a lack of access to good affordable health care, systemic discrimination, lack of affordable housing, and poverty due to lack of high-paying quality employment are among the common causes of this situation, and too many of these factors are found in some of our Caribbean countries. Some other factors include population growth, conflicts, the socio-economic effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, climate change, and loss of biodiversity. Research shows that the main effects associated with food insecurity are malnutrition, vulnerability, delayed or arrested children's development, including risks of chronic illnesses, and behavioral problems such as anxiety, hyperactivity, and aggression in school-age children. Caribbean Community, CARICOM, and the United Nations World Food Programme, WFP, the world's largest humanitarian organization, help people in emergencies through food assistance, saving lives at risk, and ultimately leading to peace and stability for populations recovering from conflicts, natural disasters, or the impact of climate change. Surveys conducted between April 2020 and February 2022 are disturbing. Based on these findings, there has been an increase of 1.3 million food insecure people in the English-speaking Caribbean since April 2020, which marks the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, bringing the estimated total number of food insecure people in the region up to 2.8 million, nearly 40% of the total population. Severe food insecurity continues to rise. An estimated 693,000 people in the region are currently severely food insecure, 6% more than in April 2021, 44% more than in February 2020, and 72% more than in April 2020. It seems as if inequality has been on the rise, as well as severe food insecurity has disproportionately affected lower-income population. 16% of the respondents earning below average income stated going a whole day without eating, and 49% find themselves having to skip a meal at least. This explains how diets have deteriorated too, and food consumption has decreased. In total, 48% of the survey respondents report that they are normally unable to eat healthy and nutritious food, having to opt for cheaper yet nutritionally poor meals. 45% of the respondents reportedly eat less than they should, and 20% of the total respondents agree they have often to go an entire day without eating to make ends meet. Negative coping strategies are commonly observed, such as reducing education or health spending, selling properties and productive assets, and drawing on savings to meet immediate survival needs. These strategies, deriving from severe inequality in access to nutritious food, have major implications for the region's lifestyle and all lead to major effects that have been recently observed, including high rates of non-communicable diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, strokes, cancer, and chronic lung diseases. Other major effects and implications in the region affect the already taxed social assistance system, poor academic performance among children and youth, low productivity in the workplace, and rising crime rates. As highlighted by the CARICOM and WFPO studies, unequal access to food has the power to exacerbate pre-existing social issues in the area. If you're getting value from this video, we would greatly appreciate it if you would give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for our future videos. Thank you. Gyre Caribbean has formed life-changing partnerships with non-profit 501c3 organizations and ministries across the region to end hunger. The immediate goal is to provide food to the hungry so future generations can thrive, and it starts with food, which is the foundation for so much more. When a child faces severe hunger, education feels out of reach, and dreams for the future are a luxury they can't afford. Food for today provides hope for tomorrow. With God's help and your support, we strive to eliminate starvation in children throughout the Caribbean and the world. Please donate to this cause, and 100% of your proceeds will go straight to these organizations to help meet the need of local Caribbean people. See the link below for additional information on how you can partner with us to end hunger in the Caribbean. Let's now examine some of the main reasons for this food insecurity that seems to be continuing in an upward trajectory in the Caribbean countries. One of the contributing factors that have seen a significant increase in households that have fallen into moderate levels of food insecurity is the rising costs for food and other commodities. In the latest surveys, 69% of the responders describe their income as below average, highlighting their inability to regularly secure highly nutritious food for the whole household. In 2022, 97% of responders reported high price increases for food compared to 59% in April 2020. This also calls to mind the fact that the Caribbean is an import-dependent region, impacted by external factors threatening the ability of local people to meet their essential and basic needs. Food inflation in the English and Dutch-speaking Caribbean countries has risen by over 10%, while high energy prices aggravate the food price crisis concerning mostly imported foods, resulting in an unsustainable economy. Food insecurity has become a top concern in the Caribbean region, immediately followed by unemployment. The crisis has led to extreme spikes in the price of food commodities as measured by the FAO Food Price Index. CARICOM is constantly collecting data and studying possible solutions to increase local food production and reduce import dependency within the region in order to reduce the costs of food. However, the possibility of battling the food insecurity threat through agriculture unveils other realities, including unstable access to water, seeds and fertilizers, skills training, watershed rehabilitation, and the opportunity of processing crops instead of exporting raw ones, adding value to them and therefore making them more profitable. All in all, with a much-needed mindfulness of climate change concerns and the necessity of climate-sensitive agricultural practices that are not commonly in use in this region are quite needed. The agricultural sector has the potential of creating wealth and fighting inequality and food availability. Still, it requires a kickstart, possibly through proper policy development, partnerships between public and private entities, and involvement of foreign investments. Today's World Bank estimates show that 80 to 90% of food consumed in the Caribbean region, whether destined for local food consumption or the tourism sector that many countries rely upon in the area, comes from abroad. Only 3 Caribbean countries, Guyana, Belize, and Haiti, produce at least 50% of their own food. However, Haiti's unstable socio-political reality and consequent economic challenges still keep the country on the list of food insecure areas of the world, and even in Guyana, the percentage of people choosing to skip meals in order to cope with price increases is highly concerning. Also, the impact of the Atlantic hurricane season has been observed to be progressively worsening over the last 8 years, with a great influence highly connected to the thickening climate crisis. The latest survey results also indicate the situation has worsened since the onset of the Ukraine war, which has generated higher levels of moderate to severe food insecurity. The global food crisis, currently fueled by conflict and climate shocks, has long-term effects and is on a spike now because of the ripple effects of the Ukrainian conflict, driving food prices, fuel, and fertilizers up, preventing gain from leaving the breadbasket of the world and making food more expensive throughout the world, threatening to worsen already existing shortages of nutritious foods, hunger, and political instability in developing or underdeveloped countries. An additional compromise to global food security, with Russia allegedly cutting off food supply chains as a war strategy. CARICOM, the United Nations World Food Programme (WFP), and other partners involved, including the European Union and the United States Agency for International Development (USAID), continue to work together to develop strategies aiming to increase people's resilience. This is expected to be attained through stronger disaster management policies, more effective food systems, and social protection, and sustainable as well as responsible ways of coping with the crisis, aiming to increase responsiveness in meeting the needs of populations that are affected by the crisis. It is vital that nutritious meals continue to reach vulnerable communities around the Caribbean and the world. Organizations are continuing to provide nutritional meals and economic stability for some of the Caribbean's most vulnerable individuals, families, and communities. Your contributions are critical in these challenging times. Undernourished children are more susceptible to infectious diseases. So, please consider donating to this cause, as your contribution will ensure a few of our Caribbean children do not go to bed hungry tonight. See the link below. $88 feeds a child for a year. $365 feeds a family for a year. $1,866 provides a pallet of food. $10,000 feeds a village. Thank you in advance for your support and contributions. Tell us in the comment section below what you think of this presentation about food insecurity in the Caribbean. Don't forget to also like, subscribe, share our channel with others, and turn on the notification bell for our next video as we support our Caribbean neighbors together. This is Jairi Caribbean. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.